Welcome to the 2023 AQHA Breeder Recognition Banquet, presented by Teton Ridge. Here's your host, Jeff Metters.
Of course, this banquet is presented by Teton Ridge, and they've made a huge impact in the industry over the last couple of years. Excited to see where they go from here. We want to thank Teton Ridge for their support and recognizing these breeders. And right now, please direct your attention to the screen.
Time spent on a horse's back is never wasted, whether it be walking, running, sliding, chasing a cow. That horse is taking all that in. It takes a very special horse for what we do. The horses are incredible athletes, but so are the guys on their back. You've got to be in tune, you've got to be in time, you've got to be in the right position. There needs to be so much power in one moment as far as doing the maneuver, but the next moment look like, that horse is quiet. It's just as much mental as it is physical. There's definitely a connection between me and every single horse I get on. My hands, my feet, the speed control of things changing. We've got to be on the same page. We've got to be thinking the same along the way. Well, not every horse out there is going to end up being a world's greatest horse. Personally, I would rather have a horse that, has a lot to offer as far as try. You can't train that kind of stuff.
We have a really strong contingent here from Teton Ridge tonight. We introduced them earlier, and Katie Harvey is here. She's the Senior Vice President of Communication. I'd like to have her come up right now and spend a little time at the microphone.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that very much. I don't have a joke, so I'm going to keep it short because I know we have a lot to cover, but this is a perfect partnership for Teton Ridge being the sponsor of the Breeder Banquet, because at the heart of our brand is the quarter horse, and we recognize that at the heart of the quarter horse is the breeding. I'd also like to recognize, too, the incredible partnership that we have developed with AQHA. It's not just a sponsorship. It really is a marrying of values and working together to promote the American quarter horse, the breed, and its continuation. One of the ways that we're working to do this at Teton Ridge is through true storytelling, just like that piece that you just saw. That's a series that we're going to be continuing, and I'm excited that we debuted it tonight here, so no one's even seen it yet, so you all are the first to see it. But that first is storytelling and taking stories, not just of our horsemen, but also of our horses, and taking those and amplifying those and bringing them to new people and new audiences through innovative technologies and platforms. The other way that we're working together to put the quarter horse on a larger stage is through the American Performance Horseman. Hopefully a lot of you have heard of this, and there's no bigger stage than Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, which is where on March 10th, we're going to be having the top 15 money-earning professionals in cutting, rein cow, and reining competing for $1 million in an individual and teams format. We're so excited about this event, and AQHA, along with the other associations, were instrumental in helping us to build this unique competition exhibition and bringing it to a larger stage. It'll be broadcast on CBS Sports. It's tape delayed, but also if you're fortunate to be there, and we're fortunate to have you, we'll also have Darius Rucker and Sheryl Crow joining us for the entertainment that night, and it's part of the American Western Weekend. Yeah. If you haven't gotten tickets yet, there are some cards on the table that have QR codes. That's the way to get your tickets if you're interested in it. But one other announcement that I'm very honored and just so pleased to announce, again, with the partnership that we have with AQHA, is that AQHA is going to be awarding the breeders of the 3 individual horses that are winners with a check for $5,000 and a prestigious trophy to be awarded at next year's Breeders' Banquet for the winners of the 2023 American Performance Horsemen. So congratulations on that. Thank you again for that partnership. Thanks again for the warm reception here for Teton Ridge. We're here with you, we're here for the long term, and appreciate so much what you all are doing as breeders. Thank you.
I love the picture of the blue heeler. How many of you guys have had blue heelers in your lives? So they're velociraptors, pretty much what they are. They're smarter than everybody in the room, and they're one step ahead of you. So I grew up with them on the ranch, and so when my kids got older, they're like, we want a dog. So being the genius I am, I searched high and low, I find the perfect blue heeler. Bit 5 people before he was 1, and had families that would not send their kids to my house as long as I had that dog. And I was like, you know, I like your kids, but that dog brings me joy. I finally got him tamed down, but he was a handful, trust me. We'd also like once again to thank our platinum sponsor, John Deere. And once again, please direct your attention to the video wall.
There's never a dull moment for the Nelsons. 5th generation Montana ranchers. Since 1868, they've been herding cattle, reeling in trout, and exploring Paradise Valley from their backyard. Here's to another 150 years of adventure. There's a story in every piece of land. Run with us on a John Deere Gator XUV and start telling yours.
And at this time, I'd like to have AQHA President Dr. Scott Myers join me here on stage. He'll be doing the presenting tonight as we get one step closer to our first award. Of course, breeders are the backbone of the American quarter horse industry. Without you and your families and the breeders who came before you, we wouldn't celebrate the amazing horse that we have today. Each of you have taken pride in preserving the breed that we all love. You've reached phenomenal milestones within the AQHA. You should be very proud of your successes. You have achieved a lot along the way. Tonight, we're going to pay tribute to 40 breeders who share the passion that we all have for the American quarter horse. Their determination has shaped the breed as we know it. To kick off the evening, we'd like to recognize the 2022 AQHA International Best Remuda.
For decades, Norberto Soares Leites Fazenda Gruta Azul in Mato Grosso do Sul, Brazil, has raised cattle and American quarter horses. The family's passion and cultivation has led to the ranch being named the 2022 AQHA International Best Remuda winner. The American Quarter Horse Association gives this award to a ranch outside of the United States that raises outstanding American quarter horses for ranch work. Fazenda Gruta Azul is the home to some of the top cow horses in Brazil. The ranch's horses carry the blood of Highbrow Cat, Playgun, Highest Little Pep, Pepto Boonsmall, and Smart Little Lena. Fazenda Gruta Azul's name translates to Blue Grotto, and on its rich grasslands, cattle are raised. To work the cattle, Norberto and his family raise American quarter horses and have more than 200 horses on their ranch, which are used daily.
Desde o início, procuramos alinhar.
Since the beginning, we have been looking for cattle lines, mainly due to the need to raise good animals for this purpose. Before being competitors in the cutting lanes, we are people from the countryside, and we understand the need to produce and raise good animals that facilitate the day-to-day work on the farm.
Fazenda Gruta Azul's horses are seen in the cutting arena. According to AQHA's international affiliate in Brazil, AQHA, the ranch is the number 2 all-time breeder of cutting horses. And the ranch's stallion, This Cat's King, is the number 1 cutting sire in the country, based on statistics from the National Cutting Horse Association's Brazilian affiliate, AQHA.
The animal that has contributed the most to our Remuda is our chief stallion, This Cat's King, a son of Highbrow Cat, out of a King Pepson mare. King is the greatest breeder in the cutting modality in Brazil of all time, and father of the main horses we have on the ranch. Even some of his offspring who today work in the fields are winners on the show circuit. Among the group, we also have great breeders on the tracks, with gain in America and here in Brazil. Among the top 10 greatest Brazilian breeders of all time, we have 4. Play with This Deal, Doc's Stylish Delight, KF Bunalina, and Dualina Top CD.
Leite continues to expand his Remuda by searching
Continuar a busca
for excellence in cow horse breeding and giving my best for the future of the breed in Brazil.
In addition to Fazenda Gruta Azul, the Leite family owns 2 other ranches, Fazenda Alvorada and Fazenda Arancua. All 3 ranches comprise 17,300 head of cattle and 244 horses, which takes up roughly 61,776 acres. For the Leite family, horse life goes beyond business and ranch work. It is their family and friends' passion, and they will continue to pass the ranches on to the next generation.
É uma grande honra receber essa
It is a great honor to receive this honor. This is why there are such relevant names in the training and selection of good horses. We will continue to carry out serious work that began 50 years ago with a dream. And today, receiving this title is the heart of everything it costs, and even more, a great stimulus for us to always seek to improve.
Congratulations to Fazenda Gruta Azul, the 2022 AQHA International Best Remuda Award winner.
And let's welcome our first honorees to the stage.
Senhoras e senhores, boa noite. Em primeiro lugar, agradeço a Deus por me proporcionar mais esse momento mágico na minha vida.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to thank God for letting me have this very special moment in my life.
Agradeço a AQHA por esse reconhecimento de mérito do Best Remuda Award de 2022.
I want to thank AQHA for the Best Remuda Award 2022.
Esse prêmio me deixou muito feliz e honrado, e com compromisso de dar o meu melhor para o futuro da raça quarto de milha no meu país.
This award was an honor for me to receive it, and now I committed myself to improve and to work for the best of the breeding of the American quarter horse in my country.
Thank you. Agradeço a minha família pelo apoio incondicional que sempre me deram nas competições de apartação assim como na criação e formação de grandes cavalos.
I want to thank my family for the unconditional support they gave me through all my cutting competitions. And the breeding of great horses.
Não poderia deixar de agradecer a presença dos meus amigos brasileiros que estão aqui para me prestigiar. Vocês tornaram esse momento mais especial.
I want to thank my Brazilian friends to come and honor me. You turned this moment very special to me.
Agradeço ao meu time de vaqueiros, ao pessoal da reprodução e manejo, assim como o meu grande time de apartação. Sem vocês, nada disso seria possível.
I want to thank very much my cowboy team, my trainers, and all the breeding manager and staff that we have. Without them, this would not be possible.
Para aqueles que disputaram comigo esse prêmio, quero dizer que foi uma grande honra estar entre pessoas tão especiais na criação de bons animais.
I want to thank also all the competitors that run with me, and it was an honor for me to be among very special breeders like them.
Por último, eu gostaria de oferecer esse prêmio, essa conquista, para todos os criadores de quarto de milha do meu país. Muito obrigado.
Last but not least, I would like to offer this award, share this award with all the breeders, American quarter horse breeders in my country, Brazil. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a beautiful ranch. I know you guys are thinking it, so I'll just throw it out there. Mr. Stressman, I'd like to make a motion. We have next year's convention in Rio de Janeiro. That's beautiful stuff. Well, now let's recognize the cumulative breeders who have bred American quarter horses for a total of 50 years. For this evening's presentations, we will first recognize our breeders that are actually in attendance, and a little bit later on, we will honor those that were not able to be here tonight. If you're part of that 50 year, we kind of ask you to start making your way downstage here, because at this point it'll move pretty fast. It's going to start with Dick Adams and his family from Patoka, Illinois, who have bred and registered 200 American quarter horses since 1971. Dick has had several horses contribute to the success of his breeding program, such as Impressive Buddha, Sunny Goatee, and I Got a Cool Secret. He has a great inventory of hard-earned AQHA World Champion titles, but one of his greatest achievements was winning the 2008 AQHA World Championship in Weanling Stallions with Telling My Secrets, a horse that he bred and raised himself. Dick works closely with his sons and his grandsons, who also share his passion for American quarter horses. AQHA has allowed Dick to form close and meaningful relationships with the people that he has met along the way, as many of you have. Please welcome AQHA cumulative breeder, Dick Adams.
And the privilege it is for us is to get to know so many people like everyone sitting here. We wouldn't have got to do that if we just stayed at Patoka, Illinois. Thank you very much.
Patrick Fitzpatrick of Paoli, Oklahoma, has bred and registered over 590 American quarter horses since 1967. Smart Mate was essential in Patrick's program. He produced 396 NCHA money earners, totaling over $8 million in winnings, leaving a vast impression on the cutting horse industry. Patrick's involvement in AQHA has helped mold his way of life and fed his passion for horses. Over the years, he has earned several National Cutting Horse Association and AQHA achievements. Patrick Fitzgerald. Our next cumulative breeder, W.E. Harris of Benton, Mississippi, who's bred and registered over 110 American quarter horses since 1969. B.H. Tankery Chick and a number of other broodmares have been the most prominent in his program. They have produced versatile offspring that can be used in the show pen, the rodeo arena, and on the ranch, and have earned a long list of achievements while competing. W. Harris is consciously trying to improve his program by finding different stallions to produce the best offspring. His horses have given him the opportunity to travel across the United States to watch his horses compete and to find the most elite horses to breed. Let's hear from them.
I want to thank Teton Ridge and the AQHA for this wonderful banquet, and I do appreciate this. I never dreamed 50 years ago I would be up here, but I do thank y'all.
Walter Dick Harrison of Battle Creek, Michigan, has bred and registered over 130 American quarter horses since 1968. Dick's horses have created a name for themselves on the racetrack. Chick's Two Rockets, Precious Libby, and Fearless Fred have been the integral parts of his success to the program with multiple racing accomplishments. Dick was determined to be successful from the very beginning and was able to create an effective breeding program relatively from scratch. AQHA has brought many opportunities his way, including Gray Ghost, setting a track record at Beulah Park in 1984, and that track record is yet to be broken. Our next AQHA cumulative breeder is F. Burt Lamb of Lexington, Oklahoma, who's bred and registered more than 160 American quarter horses since 1971. F. Burt's program produced an abundance of successful horses, including Bittersweet O. That's Runnin' Rainy and Cash Fine. These horses have earned many honors, including AQHA Superior, AQHA World Championship, and AQHA High Point titles. The love of the American quarter horse is what kept him going. Being involved in AQHA increased his personal self-discipline and endurance due to the demands of raising and training so many great horses. Congratulations to AQHA cumulative breeder F. Burt Lamb.
We are honored to be here on behalf of my father, F. Burt Lamb. I am extremely grateful for the opportunity to accept this award in recognition of his cumulative 50 years of breeding the American quarter horses. My father named one of his last foals 50 years. We are happy that my dad reached his goal to receive this honor. My dad taught us to never give up and to never quit. Thank you to the American Quarter Horse Association.
Our next cumulative breeder with us is Oasis Ranch from North Platte, Nebraska, owned by Pete and Marilyn Bowling. They bred and registered over 750 American quarter horses since 1968. They have bred and raised notable horses including Highly Treasured, $1 Million Checks, I'm Already Blue, Tomorrow's Treasures, American Dandy, Another Dandy, Good Old Times, Texas Remedy, Earthly Riches, and Request the Tab, and many others who have excelled in AQHA, NCHA, NRCHA, NRHA, SHOT, and other events. Health issues in 2012 and 2014 forced a cutback in the number of mares that Pete and Marilyn have bred each year, but they hope to get that back and even more breeding and showing in 2023. Our next cumulative breeder that's with us this evening is Roy Odell. Roy is from Emory, Utah, and has bred and registered 240 American quarter horses since 1959. Roy has many horses to thank for his success of his breeding program, but Kid Carrot, 53, Lucky Kingwood, and Jesse's Gunsmoke have been the most significant for him. Breeding and raising great American quarter horses has been the focus of his operation, has provided him with the ability to pursue a hobby that he is extremely passionate about. AQHA has given him the opportunity to meet many other horsemen and women who he has a great respect for and able to share his knowledge with, from which he has gained so much. Congratulations to AQHA cumulative breeder, Roy Odell. Our next cumulative breeder, Mike and Bruce Treffer. Mike and Bruce are from Broken Bow, Nebraska, and they have bred and registered over 230 American quarter horses since 1971. The Treffers have been breeding American quarter horses for as long as they can remember. Their goal has been, and will continue to be, producing all-around performance horses with style and eye appeal. Chiquita's Last Par, ZB Pine, and Zan's Last Par are a few of the stallions that have made their goals possible. Their passion for raising American quarter horses has been passed down through the generations. The connections and relationships that they have formed along the way are irreplaceable, and they look forward to many more years with AQHA. Congratulations to AQHA cumulative breeder, Mike and Bruce Treffer. Our final cumulative breeder to be recognized this evening is the late Buster Welch. Since 1958, Buster Welch of Rotan, Texas, bred and registered 110 American quarter horses. He had an intense passion for work that called for a good horse. There are many horses that contributed to his success, not only as a trainer, but as a breeder. Buster bred and raised foals that earned more than $900,000 in NCHA events, including Jose Pepe, Shorty's Cowgirl, and CD Sugarlina, who won over $200,000 combined. Pepe San Badger, a direct progeny of Mr. San Pepe, whom Buster briefly owned, is one of the most famous horses in the quarter horse industry. He sired 2,325 AQHA registered foals that have earned more than 7,200 points in all divisions and won more than $25 million. Buster and his horses have left a legacy behind that will be remembered for many, many years to come. Congratulations, AQHA cumulative breeder, the late Buster Welch.
Ken Welch asked me to accept this on behalf of their family. Buster was a dear friend, a mentor to our family and a lot of people in this room, and he'll live forever.
Before we move on to our next awards, we would like to recognize our cumulative breeders who were not able to join us tonight. It starts with Vince Amlin of West Lorne, Ontario. Wayne and Adelaide Anderson, their family, from Richland Center, Wisconsin. Basil P. Bennett of Ben Wheeler, Texas. Dallas Reynolds DeWeese of Westville, Florida. Alan A. Martin from Torrington, Wyoming. D.F. Martin from Helltown, Oklahoma. Al Mayer of Jamestown, North Dakota. Robert L. and Mina Morgan from Frenchtown, Montana. Keith J. Munns from Rexburg, Idaho. And Paul and Lynn Scruggs from Coldwater, Mississippi. Let's give them a round of applause for 50 years of cumulative breeding. So Burnett Ranches of Guthrie, Texas, bred earners of over $14,000, securing the title of 2022 top money-earning AQHA Ranching Heritage Breeder. In recognition of the achievement, Burnett Ranches will receive a certificate for a saddle built by Don Rich Saddlery. Burnett Ranches' leading earner of the year was Sixes Tippy, who earned $5,600 in the 2022 AQHA Ranching Heritage Challenge. The home-owned 2018 Blue Roan mare is by Bet He's a Cat out of the Mr. Jess Perry mare, Six Flow Jesse. Congratulations to Burnett Ranches, LLC.
You know, it's an honor to get to stand up here and receive this award, but the reality is it's an honor that has been done because of the staff and the hard work that the employees put in. And I got to tell you, there's a big hole in our heart because Dr. Blodgett set a really high standard, and we got to work really hard to meet that standard.
Next, we recognize the AQHA Ranching Heritage Breeder Top Production Sale Award for Raymond Sutton Ranches. It's the first ever AQHA Ranching Heritage Breeder Top Production Sale Award. It goes to a historic sale that's provided good horses to customers for more than 70 years. The Raymond Sutton Ranch Production Sale has been hosted in Gettysburg, South Dakota since 1955. The Top Production Sale Award honors those who have been producing top quality horses and recognizes their hard work and dedication to promoting the breed. The Sutton's Ranch was founded in 1883 when Edwin Sutton and his family settled in the middle of South Dakota. In the late 1940s, the family began breeding registered American quarter horses, and their first sale was held in the fall of 1951. The ranch is known for its American quarter horses, Hereford cattle, and American bison. Congratulations to the 2021 Top Production Sale Award, AQHA Ranching Heritage Breeder, Raymond Sutton Ranch.
Wow, it's an honor to be up in front of y'all. The few things that bring to mind are passion and purpose and why we're here. We're here for the American Quarter Horse and the passion that my mother and I continue to bring with our legacy that my grandfather started with his Legacy Award, my father last year with his Legacy Award. But to be quite honest, it does take a small village, and we had to pivot in 2020 with COVID. And so at our table, I have my cousin and her husband, Laura and John Wilson. They have always been a part of putting on our production sale from back in 1980 all the way to our pivot years. And then Hope Hall, who comes up and helps us every year, as well as Mr. Mike Jennings, who It was a hard change, but we went to online only, but we never lost any of our customers because we truly believe in producing a quality horse and treating our customers fairly and standing behind our product, no matter if it's in our benefit or not. We think that being a reputable breeder and standing behind it for this year will be our 73rd year is quality, not, that we can't bring. So thank you very much.
Our next award winner is the AQHA Legacy Breeders who have bred American quarter horses for the past 50 consecutive years. First, we recognize AQHA Legacy Breeder, Cia Ganadera de Toto Noco. They're from Ciudad, Mexico. They've been breeding American quarter horses since 1973, and they have bred and registered 3,000 American quarter horses. The horses have been very prominent for themselves in the racing industry, all about cash, jeweled cash, tres neve, and those are just a few of the horses that have really been the anchors in their breeding program. J. Merced Gomez loved American quarter horses and passed down the passion to his children. His grandchildren have also taken to the quarter horse way of life. AQHA has provided with them the ability to grow and nourish the love that they have for the industry and to be passed on from generation to generation. Congratulate these AQHA Legacy Breeders.
We want to thank AQHA for this amazing award and for this amazing banquet. I want to mention my grandfathers who started this legacy, and we hope to continue this legacy for many years to come. Thank you.
Our next AQHA Legacy Breeder is Gary and Deborah Malox. They're from Vail, South Dakota, and they have bred and registered over 500 American quarter horses since 1972. Gary and Deborah continually work on developing strong pedigrees that will make multi-talented horses for use in various competitive events. They look for quality horses with a versatile performance profile. Their goal is to raise appealing colts with strong pedigrees that become sensible, trainable, versatile mounts. Horses that they have raised include Drifter's Blue Star, Cowboy's Desire, Smoke's Got a Gal, and many more. And they've earned AQHA points and awards. Many of these same horses are also work regularly on the ranch and are valued by the hands that ride them every day. The versatility of their horses has led to many years of success on the ranch and at rodeos and horse shows across the country. Congratulations to AQHA Legacy Breeders, Gary and Deborah Malox.
We're excited to be here. It took 50 years to get here. It means we're still alive and we're still married. Breeding horses isn't for the faint of heart. There's been so many good times, but there's been a lot of heartache and sadness. But the reward in the end is well worth the trip. And so I want to thank Quarter Horse and all of you for being here. It's been fun.
And AQHA is honored to recognize 2022 AQHA Legacy Breeder, Whiting Ranch of Bells, Texas. Whiting Ranch is owned by Steve Whiting, who finds the American quarter horse industry exciting and rewarding through racing and ranching. Will Van, He Hoda, and Lotta PYC are a few of the stallions who have produced notable offspring. Congratulations to the Whiting Ranch.
All I can say is it's a pleasure to have a good horse. And you never feel better than when you own a good one.
We'd also like to recognize our legacy breeders who are not able to attend tonight. Wilbur and Jean Hansen from Lisbon, North Dakota. Ty Herman of Hilda, Alberta. Theodore Lincoln from Freeland, Michigan. Ella Schwab and Sons from Grafton, Iowa. Silverbrook Ranches from Bayard, Texas. Fred C. and Clara S. Wilson of Newcastle, Wyoming. Please join me with a round of applause for our legacy breeders. Our next award recognizes the 2022 AQHA Ranching Heritage Breeder of the Year, and that is KT Ranch. Operated by Donald and Pamela Pearson and their family, their daughter Toni Meacham and her husband Kicker Meacham, and daughter Kelly Pearson Geddes and her husband Ben Geddes. KT Ranch was founded in 1995 by the Pearson family after going out on their own. They had previously partnered on a registered Hereford and Angus cattle operation, but decided to branch out and add some equine to their business. The transition to adding horses to their operation was an easy one, which allowed them to set their operation apart from neighboring ranches in the area at the time. Their focus was on breeding good using ranch horses that would be applicable in all aspects of ranch life. Welcome them to the stage.
Wow, this is amazing. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. I'm Toni Meacham, and with me tonight we have my sister Kelly Pearson Geddes, my husband Kicker Meacham, and my brother-in-law Ben Geddes. And we should have had all of us tonight. We were supposed to have 11 people, our entire ranch, our parents, first time our parents have left the ranch and flown on an airplane in 18 years. But Delta had other plans. So Friday, we got to the airport. My sister was actually in Reno at a convention, so she got down here Friday. So it's us three, my parents, who have been stressing out about this, of course, for months. What are we gonna wear? What are we gonna pack? Who's gonna take care of the dogs? Who's gonna take care of the horses? Who's gonna take care of the cows? You know, normal ranching questions, right? So we get to the airport, we're all there, we're all gung-ho. You know, at this point, it is what it is. The battery in the plane was dead. I'm like, we're from Washington, right? We have snow, big snowstorm planned. We get to the airport, it is sunny. We're gonna make it. No battery. So they're like, okay, couple hours. We'll get you guys out of here. We'll get your connection fixed. We'll do this, we'll do this. Our airport's little. So we're hanging out in the airport, super fun. Couple hours go by, no battery. Couple more hours go by, no battery. At this point, we're like, okay, we can, when the plane takes off, we'll get to Minneapolis, we'll spend the night in Minneapolis, and then we'll fly down the next day. At, I think, 5-ish p.m., after we'd been in the airport for 12 hours, They're like, we don't have a crew. You're not gonna make it. And then they tell us they can get us here yesterday at 11 p.m. last night, but there's only 4 tickets. Yeah. So it was kind of a fun day Friday. But anyway, so we got here. We've had lots of texts and calls from our dad and mom. Hope, missing this, because this is not about us, right? This is heritage. So this is about our parents, our grandparents, and the legacy that we have. So when we talk about our ranch, we're it. We are the feeders, we're the trainers, we're the haulers, we're the managers, we're the owners, we're the whole thing. So for us to get this award is pretty cool. We're pretty small in comparison to most ranches. We only run 100 head of horses. We're mostly focused on registered cattle. We show cattle all over the place. The kids are really involved with Junior Angus. We have a lot of registered cattle. And we decided many years ago to start raising our own horses because we didn't feel like we could find the quality in Washington that we wanted. So we started raising horses, and it's been a transition. I think my husband likes to tell me that when we got together, we only had like 20. And I'm like, dude, you just didn't see the ones in the back pasture, but whatever. So, we've really grown, and we've heard tonight, you've got to have try. It's a path you follow. Hopefully you stay married, all these things. And it's hard. And you either grow with it, you become strong, and you raise really tough kids, or you get out. And luckily we've stayed in it. And from the beginning, our ranch has really been focused on youth, promoting the youth, keeping kids involved, because we've seen that, right? Like, we were involved with something called the Brayford Association. It was a 5/8, 3/8 Brahma Hereford cross cow, and it didn't really promote enough youth, and that organization's kind of gone. It's not as popular as it could have been. And like Angus, Herefords used to be, in my mind, more popular than Angus, but Angus did a better job of promoting youth. So you buy Angus cattle for your kids to show because there's more shows to go to. So we've transitioned. We were actually raised with Herefords, and we've transitioned. We still have them, because if you're a Hereford person, you're a Hereford person. I'm sorry. But we have transitioned to more Angus. And so, our ranch, we've donated to the AQHA youth program for many years. We donate to 4-H. We donate to FFA. We donate to the Junior Angus. We donate to Farm Fair. We donate to any deserving organization out there, because without youth, there is no tomorrow for any organization. And like all ranchers, we face adversity. I mean, it's just a fact. And many of you probably know about Washington. You think of Seattle, you think of rain, you think of trees. We do not have that. We are from a high desert. We are about 8 inches of precipitation a year, and we are the opposite side of the state than Seattle, and we are the opposite mentality. So we face a lot of adversity. We face the same adversity everyone here faces, but we've got this little extra twist of excess government. We have extra oversight and regulations that make ranching just more difficult. So just as an example, in Washington, raising livestock is perceived as polluting the environment, which is stupid, but that's what it is. And we face regulations that prohibit livestock from directly accessing water bodies. We face potential regulations that prohibit livestock grazing on public land, because those cattle are seen as harmful to wolves. And we face regulations that increase the cost of livestock production every single day. So that is just an extra twist to what we have to face. So as a ranch, we decided to start to really work to change public perception, because you can just think about how great you are as an agriculturist, but if you don't do something to change how other people feel about you, you're not going to get anywhere. So we've really tried to make people understand what ranching is about. We tell our story about stewardship, heritage, and perseverance. We try to have a really strong internet presence. When people call and say, hey, we've got these people from Tokyo, can they come out? Heck yeah, bring them out. We will change our schedule, bring them out, let's show them what ranching is about. So we tell our story, and we think as an industry as a whole, everybody needs to do a better job of telling our story, or we're not going to win the war in the end. We've got to talk about why livestock production is good for the environment. We keep native lands native to run livestock, which keeps native land native to run wildlife. We keep otherwise unproductive lands, and we produce a high-value protein in the form of beef. We combat noxious weeds, and we manage forage to minimize fire danger. When you want to talk about heroes, because we hear a lot about heroes, what we do as ranchers should be the highest thing on that list. We are here for our neighbors. If a fire breaks out, we're the first ones there. We're here for the environment. We've been there because we want this ranch to go to our kids. And we are there for this organization, the AQHA. As this award recognizes AQHA heritage breeders, I want to thank everyone that's made this possible. AQHA staff, Cassie Anderson sitting with us at our table, and without her, I think the frustration of registering horses may have overwhelmed us, but we've got her and we just are very thankful for her. This award is really more than just heritage. This award is one that recognizes those ranches that go the extra mile. They promote stewardship, they promote animal welfare, they promote our breed, and they keep ranchers operational for that next generation. So KT Ranch thanks you from the bottom of all of our hearts. Thank you.
Travel problems in the U.S., that's weird. That never happens. I've flown a lot of miles, and I'll tell you this much. If I get to the airport and some cat's got his F-150 nose to nose with the plane with jumper cables, probably not getting on that plane. I'm going to sit that one out. But congratulations to KT Ranch and a wonderful speech. Our next breeders have been breeding American quarter horses for 75 years. To put that into perspective, AQHA was founded back in 1940, which means these breeders have been breeding for nearly the same amount of time that the AQHA has actually been in existence. That's some breed integrity. Our first 75-year breeders are Walter and Jocelyn Greenman from Tishomingo, Oklahoma. They bred and registered more than 540 American quarter horses since 1962. Walter and Jocelyn enjoy raising American quarter horses on the ranch, raising horses that have helped produce their product, beef. They use their horses on the ranch as well as in the show pen. In order to work cattle and have a successful career, they must have animals that they can use and trust to complete their work, and they put their trust in the American quarter horse. They have passed down their passions to their children, who continue to use and breed horses from the foundation their parents have created. Congratulations to our cumulative AQHA 75-year breeders, Walter and Jocelyn Greenman. By the way, a lot of people, that we're missing tonight, there's a pretty serious line of storms that's kind of from here all the way up into Kansas, and so they've had some issues staying at home and keeping the farm and the ranch safe at this point in time. Gene and Faye Reeves of Eagle Butte, South Dakota have bred and registered more than 2,300 quarter horses since 1977. Gene and Faye started their operation with 3 mares who were used in multiple disciplines such as rodeo, ranch work, and brood mares. They have continued their original foundation bloodlines, which started with Fertitti and Bar Nothing Springer. The horses produced by Reeves Ranch have a reputation of being sound, stout roan horses that can be used in all aspects of ranching and competition. From starting colts to picking potential future stallions and mares for the herd to selling horses all over the country, Gene and Faye Reeves have built a lasting legacy with the horse industry. Congratulations to these 75-year breeders.
Wow, there are a lot of you. Okay. Hi, my name is Milena. I am Buzz in Faye's great-granddaughter. And I'm Arthur and Frankie Reeves' great-granddaughter. I'm a 4th generation, and I have number 5 standing right there. This all started by my great-granddad, Arthur Reeves, making a deal in a parking lot at a horse sale in Lubbock, Texas. And that's where all good ones start, right? All good deals start at a sale barn in the parking lot somewhere. And that stud came to be bartender. From then on, it was Bar Nothing Springer. So I would have to say thank you to my great-granddad for starting this for us, and we hope to continue this. That's what I want to do. That's why I'm up here, and that's why I listen to everything that my grandparents tell me to do. And I also listen to my mother too. So thank you to Frankie and Arthur, and thank you to my grandparents and my mom and my uncles, and thank you to you guys and the AQHA. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And again, it's very special for me. And of course, I'm Jim Hunt, and I'm a cousin to Faye. And what a wonderful history that we have in South Dakota. And I thought it would be very interesting to our audience tonight. And again, I'd like to thank the organizers and Karen McQuistion for the vision to help make this banquet possible. It's been a huge success, and I'm so grateful that we can honor. And I'm not going to say congratulations on behalf of myself and on behalf of the Reeves family, but I'm going to say thank you to these 50-year breeders and 75-year breeders. That's Hall of Fame to me, those sacrifices. I also want to add that we do have 2 other special guests tonight that are very important to our industry, and I want to thank very much Jeff Metters. Jeff, of course, let's congratulate him this last year. Thank you. Jeff was inducted into the highest honor of the National Cowboy Hall of Fame, and along with that, grandson of Art Reeves, our world champion, 2001 Saddle Bronc champion, Tom Reeves. Let's give him a congratulations as well. When Art Reeves came to South Dakota in 1949, he not only had an influence on the horse industry, but he had an influence on South Dakota that spread not only just statewide, but basically region-wide. Affected my family, my family's horse operation, and along with that history came a very interesting story. And of course, if you go back into the 1800s, about 1880, there was a terrible blizzard and a storm that came through the northern plains that the story is told, and there is attribute that gives that there was about 60 days of snow and blizzard, and it basically wiped out the cattle herds and the horse herds and the buffalo herds to literally almost extinction. I think there was about 600 cows left, and if those of you that are historical remember the artist C.M. Russell, and he had a painting called The Last Chinook, this old Port Hereford or Longhorn Cross cow that was out on a bluff waiting for that Chinook. And there's a coyote just waiting for dinner. And that storm also caused the buffalo almost to come to extinction. And the buffalo in South Dakota, the story is told that it came down that there existed after the hide hunters came in from the French from Canada, there was 7 orphan buffalo calves left up on the North Dakota-South Dakota border. My cousin Faye from Lakota heritage, her great-great-grandfather was named Fred Dupree. And her great-great-grandmother, his wife, was Mary Good Elk Woman, a full-blood Lakota woman. That couple took team and wagon and went to that area and captured them 7 orphan buffalo calves and raised them back into the buffalo herd, into existence as we know today, the bison in North America. I am so proud of that heritage and that history, and equally so proud of the heritage that Art and Frankie and Buzz and Faye, and of course Buzz's brother Dean, that is deceased, Tom's dad, what they have done for our industry in South Dakota. 75 years, and Buzz and Faye continue today to run as probably as good a set of long neck, pencil neck, beautiful headed, 120 headed brood mares. And I know it's not polite to mention age, but crowding that 90, and they decided to get into the racehorse business for their retirement. Aren't we rich in the quarter horse industry that people are committed in the passion? Faye and Buzz have been 4-H leaders, mine when I was a child. They have been leaders in the Young Horse Development Program, and they're wonderful friends, and of course, passionate to this day. And I have a feeling until, well, they'll live for another 20 or 30 years, that the American quarter horse will be a part of their life. Congratulations. Love you. Thank you very much. We've got to add one humor. Buzz, come here. Jim Brinkman is an EC member, and he's in the audience. We talk about impact on programs. So, Buzz, you and your dad was a very good friend of of course, of the late Howard Pitzer. So I want you to share a story. Howard came to your ranch, loved your breeding program, and of course, he invested in some of your dad's genetics and your genetics. Please share with our friends of the story about Howard when he was just going to come buy your mares.
Well, Howard and my dad, they had done business together. I'd never met the man. But one day he pulled in the yard there. We had a place uptown so we could send the kids to school. He said, let's go down and look at your mare. And boy, I was pretty proud of that. So I jumped in the old ranch pickup with him and took him down there. We only had about 15 mares then. He went all through them, and he got done, and he said, I'll take that bay mare and them 2 roans. I said, sir, I don't want to bust your bubble, but ain't none of these for sale. I just come down here to show them to you. Howard Pitzer got mad. We're 25 miles from town on a rough road. It was a long trip back to his car.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to our Reeves family.
Next is the Texas A&M University Department of Animal Science. Of course, from College Station, Texas. They bred and registered over 1,250 American quarter horses since 1942. Texas A&M University Department of Animal Science has produced a multitude of performing foals, winning more than $427,000 combined. The horses the university has bred are prominent in NCHA, NRHA, NRCHA, NSBA, and SHTX. Their Texas A&M brand can be found on horses all over the country, proving their demand. Of the horses they have bred, they have qualified and competed at AQHA World Championship shows over 1,400 times. Texas A&M maintains the most continuous herd of American quarter horses on any campus in the world. With a long history of teaching research, equine medicine, and outreach excellence, Texas A&M University has been a vital contributor to the equine industry for many generations. The university has been instrumental in providing the equine industry with knowledge and care that have advanced not only equine sciences, but the welfare of the horse as well. Congratulations to our AQHA 75-year breeder, Texas A&M University Department of Animal Science.
My name is Martha Vogelsang, and I am a retired professor and student from Texas A&M University. I am honored to stand here tonight to accept this award for the university as a 75-year breeder. I've been given instructions by a lot of folks in the crowd, and so I'll get to that in just a minute. But as was previously mentioned, our horse herd has been used for the training of students for many, many years. Thousands and thousands of students have used the horses in that herd, been exposed to horses, and hopefully become part of this great organization. So here are my instructions. Our picture up here is going to include all of the Aggies in the room. Come on up.
I'll leave it to the Aggies. I'd also like to say, if we could talk football just for a minute. I'm an Oklahoma State grad, and I'm so excited to see the University of Oklahoma. Go Pokes. I'm so excited to see the University of Oklahoma go to the SEC. I've been telling all my Sooner friends, your first year is going to be so much fun. You're going to have 6 homecomings, yours and about 5 others. And you have no idea how excited Vanderbilt is you're coming, because they won't be the doormat anymore. So just want to throw that in there. So next is K4 Ranch. K4 Ranch of Prescott, Arizona has bred and registered 746 American quarter horses since 1947. Seeing their horses compete in a variety of disciplines has been one of their greatest achievements. Their horses have been proven to be competitive at the highest levels of competition. Horses that they have produced have competed in the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, assisted their riders to become world champions in team pinning and sorting, and to develop world-class ranch horses. K4 Ranch's involvement with AQHA has been proven that they have the industry of their horses and the history of the AQHA to be able to track all those records. And those records go back to showing, racing, rodeo, and organizations that really stand behind the breed. Congratulations for 75 years of breeding to the K4 Ranch.
Thank you. It's a great honor to be up here. You know, when you look at all these people out here and you look at all the amazing horse trainers and all the amazing breeders, it's a real honor to stand here and you wonder what you're going to say. I told Sarah, I said, I have a picture of the first stallion that we registered in 1948. The horse's name was Johnny Boy. The sire was Biscuit 3 by an RO mare, who we're going to honor a little later, by a mare that said RO mare and was bred in Cananea, Mexico from the Green Cattle Company. That was our first stallion. So as you look across the last 75 years and I hear all these stories about the championships and the racing, the championships and the shows, and later on what we've done in the rodeo arena with these horses, you know, you're really proud of all that. The proudest thing that I am of it is that we're all together. 75 years later, we're still here. We're still a family. And with my daughter and my nieces, we hope that we're here for 75 years longer.
Man, we've lost some legends in the last year or so. Dr. Glenn Blodgett is obviously at the top of that list. He served on the board of the American Association of Equine Practitioners and has been the Texas Veterinary Medical Association's Equine Practitioner of the Year. He was employed by the 4-6 Ranch in Guthrie, Texas, and that started back in 1982, and he was overseeing the breeding program that had legendary stallions like Dash for Cash, Special Effort, Streakin' Six, Mr. Jess Perry, One Famous Eagle, and Take-A-Ray Gin. Dr. Blodgett developed the 4-6s into a mecca for broodmare owners and the horses the cowboys ride on the ranch every day. They won the AQHA's Best Remuda Award. Dr. Blodgett didn't just manage the horse division, he lived it and he breathed it. The horse business is a reputation business, and his approach was simple. His passion, credibility, and honesty set him and the ranch apart. Under his leadership, the ranch became an industry leader in reproduction, breeding, more than 1,500 mares annually. During his tenure at the 4-6s, the ranch became an all-time leading breeder of both racing and performance American quarter horses. And in 1993, they won the AQHA Best Remuda Award. Dr. Blodgett devoted the same passion to AQHA. He became a director back in 1991, a director at large in 2011, and was elected to the executive committee in 2012. And in 2015, he became the 65th person to serve as the AQHA's president. Dr. Blodgett's primary objective was the welfare of the horse. To further animal welfare, AQHA implemented the Multiple Medications Violation System and Animal Welfare Commission and offers a 6-panel genetic disease test to help breeders make more informed breeding decisions. Dr. Blodgett was known for his quiet wisdom, his thoughtfulness, his integrity. He spoke with purpose and listened with patience, and he carried a torch high and bright for the health and the welfare of the American quarter horse. Don't get wrapped up in the sides, he would say. It's about the horse. Help me thank and recognize Dr. Glenn Blodgett for his contributions to our industry by making a gift in his memory to the Dr. Glenn Blodgett Equine Research Endowment. The endowment serves as a permanent legacy to his lifelong commitment to the American quarter horse. Make a gift at aqha.com/donate today. Turn it over to you guys.
Thank you so much, AQHA. On behalf of my mom and my sister, who can't be here, and my husband, we're grateful. Dad thought so much of AQHA. He thought so much of the staff. I feel like I've lived in part of AQHA my whole life. I can't think of the countless hours that both of my parents have spent with an AQHA staff person or a fellow committee member, a mare owner, a stallion owner. It's just endless. Because work was my dad's life, the people that he worked with are much like my family. I love so many fun things about my dad that people didn't know. He loved to shop, whether it was grocery shopping, whatever it may be, the man loved to shop. He loved to shop for clothes, and so for whatever reason, right after he passed, I took 2 suits from his closet and brought them home with me. There was no plan, but this morning, I found out why I brought them home. I went on a search for an AQHA pin to wear tonight, and I didn't find it. But in his pocket, I found a speech for his induction to the AQHA Hall of Fame. And I'd like to read his closing statement. It's my promise to continue to support the American quarter horse industry for years to come, to continue to preserve and to protect the horse that I love. And I hope each of you join me in that continued effort. So AQHA family, you're gonna be the first to know about something that my family has made a firm commitment to. We've started standing up the Blodgett Foundation. We'll continue his promise. What took one man to do with your help all these years is gonna take a village. But I have the team, in fact, I have the A team helping me. I hope you're all thinking to yourself a little bit about what the foundation might do right now. And I was recently reminded of so much of Dad's passion, and specifically by my new employer, Rick Kiekefer, who was just up here. I wasn't looking for a new job, but a blast from my past connected me and said I really needed to talk to Rick and Sarah. My first question was, what is your vision for having someone like me on your team? Rick's answer was, first, I believe in hiring the right people. I also know that we do a lot of things good and some things great, but we can always be better and do better. By hiring the right people, we can do better. Dad said the same thing all the time, and he said it at the Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame induction very clearly. He was grateful for his accomplishments, but simply put, he strived to always do better. So that's it. It's pretty simple. We want you to give to all of these beautiful foundations that are already started in his honor, because our work is to help them be better. The Blodgett Foundation mission will step in and creatively, innovatively, and thoughtfully help you continue to do things even better. We look forward to upholding my dad's promise of supporting the American quarter horse for years to come, and I'm so grateful for the beautiful tribute tonight. Thank you from my family.
Buster Welch knew from an early age that he wanted to be a rancher. It just so happens that he ended up becoming a household name in pursuit of his cowboy dreams. Buster made his way working on some of the most prominent ranches in Texas, including the 4-6s, the Long X, Pitchfork Ranch, and the King Ranch. In 1974, he rode for the fabled King Ranch aboard Mr. San Pepe, winning the NCHA World Championship. Buster joined several other competitors to start the NCHA Futurity, a competition for 3-year-old horses that had never been shown. The first event was held in Sweetwater, Texas back in 1962, and Buster rode Money's Geo to the victory. They showed their way to the top, and they earned $3,800 and the prestige of becoming the first ever NCHA Futurity champion. Though his interests were wide-ranging, Buster saw everything through the lens of the horse and ranching. Buster was a voracious reader and a lifelong learner. His passion for Western lifestyle, the grasp of the Western history of the people and the land, and his authenticity attracted people of all kinds to his world. World business leaders, heads of state, prize-winning authors, and the jet set of Hollywood were drawn to his charm. Working cowboys and horse trainers would flock to his ranch and hang on his every word for insights into his otherworldly abilities with horses and with cattle. His accomplishments, connections, and personality contributed to his status as one of the preeminent figures in Western American culture. He was inducted into the National Cutting Horse Association, the Texas Cowboy, and the American Quarter Horse Halls of Fame. He won the Foy Proctor Memorial Cowman's, the Golden Spur, Western Horseman, the Charles Goodnight Awards, and a host of other honors that are really too numerous to even mention. At his core, he loved the American quarter horse and everything to do with ranching and cowboying. Buster stayed horseback until the end. Tonight, we celebrate the legacy of Buster Welch.
This was a big ask from the Welch family. It's hard to speak up here for Buster, but I'd like to, Dr. Blodgett, Buster, and Buster's old rival, Matlock's son, Sam Rose, if you don't mind, we'll do a moment of silence for those three men. Please remove your hats. Thank you all. Thank you all on behalf of the Welch family.
Our next breeders are the first of their kind, breeding American quarter horses for 100 years. Even though the association and its registry were founded in 1940, these two historic ranches already had horse herds, several of which were inspected and admitted for registration with AQHA. Our first 100-year breeder is King Ranch.
King Ranch is AQHA's all-time leading breeder by number of foals, having produced more than 7,200. Some of these foals have included Little Richard, who is considered a foundation sire, Celia 023, McBride Chestnut, and Ponchita Clayburgh. The importance of our history cannot be understated, but we are always looking forward, wrote James Clement, a descendant of Richard King, the founder of the King Ranch. We continue our commitment to breed the best possible cow horse for the King Ranch Cowboys and to promote the American quarter horse in the U.S. and internationally. Every horse foaled on the King Ranch today is descended from Old Sorrel, most through Mr. Sandpeppy and his son, Peppy Sand Badger. King Ranch grazes more than 35,000 cattle and 200 quarter horses across 825,000 acres of South Texas. It takes tough horses to handle the work, and from early on, Old Sorrel proved to be exactly what was needed. Foaled in 1915 by Hickory Bill and out of a thoroughbred mare from Kentucky, Old Sorrel was purchased by the ranch. More than 100 descendants of Old Sorrel were in the first AQHA stud book, which included the King Ranch's Wimpy P1. One other Old Sorrel son, Tomate Lorales, was included in the first 19 AQHA registration numbers reserved for foundation sires. Today, the best Remuda-earning King Ranch stands these stallions: the Boone by Pepto Boonesmall, Cañenos Moon by Rita's Sweet Badger, Marsala Red by Play Red, El Rey Hydus by Taquito Sugar, and Coronel del Rancho, the 6-year-old son of Not Rough at All, who is the ranch's first bred and owned AQHA World Champion. He was the 2021 Versatility Ranch Horse Open Junior World Champion.
Hopefully we have somebody here from King Ranch. Yes, we do.
Thank you all very much. I'm Scott Clayberg. It's a real honor for me to be here tonight to accept this award, first of its kind, on behalf of the ranch and the rest of our family, and for the 8 generations of Queneños that have really been responsible for this horse herd through the years. 8 generations. So I'll just tell you a quick little bit of trivia. You heard that the first horse that we registered, which predated AQHA, was a horse named Little Richard. Well, he was named after my father, who was 6 years old at the time. And there must have been some destiny in that naming, because Dad went on to be a director of AQHA and was inducted in the Hall of Fame back in 1995. So something was going on there in the water, I guess. But thank you all very much. We sure appreciate it.
Our final 100-year breeder this evening, W.T. Wagner Estate.
Dan Wagner set up in the cattle business in 1849. He and his son, William Thomas W.T. Wagner, built the ranch known throughout the West as Wagner's, into what today is an operation of some 525,000 acres, running 10,000 mother cows. W.T. always sought the best horses available, bringing in foundation stallions Yellow Jacket, Yellow Wolf, Midnight, Blackburn, and Pretty Boy. In 1940, his son E. Paul began registering horses with the new American Quarter Horse Association. 5 years later, E. Paul purchased Poco Bueno, a yearling son of King P234, who became a Hall of Fame sire that has impacted the line ever since at Wagner's. The program has produced nearly 65,000 American quarter horses. The Wagner contribution to the quarter horse industry has long been recognized, wrote Jim Jennings, recognizing the Wagner Ranch for its 1994 AQHA Best Remuda Award. Horses like Wagner's Rainy Day, Midnight, One-Eyed Wagner, Yellow Wolf, Yellow Jacket, Pretty Boy, Pretty Buck, Snipper W, Pep Up, Jesse James, and of course, Poco Bueno still appear in the pedigrees of many great horses of today. Some of these were bred strictly for ranch work, and others for the show arena, but they all had one thing in common. They were cow horses. W.T. Wagner Estate sold in 2016 to Stan Kroenke, who owns the National Football League's Los Angeles Rams and is husband of Walmart heiress Ann Walton Kroenke, along with 2004 Best Remuda winner Douglas Lake Cattle Company. In British Columbia, Wagner's is among 7 ranches owned by Kroenke Ranches of Bozeman, Montana.
Please welcome the W.T. Wagner Estate.
Hello. I am a terrible public speaker, but I'll try my best. We're very honored for the recognition tonight, and we have some original Wagner blood with us tonight, along with people representing our new ownership. And we have A.B. Horton and his wife Jolene, their daughter Brooke, and their son Brad. And then we have my friend and mentor, Wes O'Neill. I feel like he's a national treasure. And then we have Heath Onby, an avid and talented horseman that is now our ranch manager. Nothing stays the same, it seems like. The thing that has stayed the same for us is that we believe that our mare herd has been our strength and our best asset to the AQHA. And even though we have new ownership, Stan Kroenke and our boss, John Sam Conley, have a very strong commitment to ranching heritage and keeping our mare herd as strong as ever. And we thank you very much.
Well, I mentioned that starting in 1988, I was involved and started hosting AQHA's magazine show, America's Horse. And I was there when they started the Best Remuda Award. We would do a show about the Remuda award-winning ranch. And the first one was Haythorne Land and Cattle, which was in Nebraska. And it was just amazing. You know, Craig and Jody, they do things the old-fashioned way, and they stay away from anything that's got a motor. Went to the Wagner Ranch, the Sixes, the Pitchfork, and it was so amazing just to see the life and spend 3, 4, 5 days there and see what they do. It's just it was like stepping back in time. Great food too, by the way. They had a chuck wagon guy on the Sixes that had the best cinnamon rolls I've ever had. Put Cinnabon out of business. It was amazing. And I believe in Vernon, Texas, is one of the best chicken fried steaks I've ever had. So you can see I'm a picture of physical fitness. But yeah, it's hard to say no to the great food and to hang out at those ranches, one of the greatest thrills of my life. And to see Wes O'Neill there, that's just, those guys are legends. And we saw legends this year that, you know, just people that you just can't replace, and the impact that they've made on our industry is going to be felt for a long time. I'm super excited that this will be on the Cowboy Channel. By the way, we just kind of a gratuitous plug before we get to our last award. We have launched the Cowgirl Channel, which is really the sister network for the Cowboy Channel. And I like it because, you know, I mean, I enjoy rodeo, and I've been the host of the NFR since 1991. I have an amazing passion for the ranches and the reiners and the cutters and the rein cow horse people. And this is going to give us a chance to have, you know, other options to carry those events live. And when you look at the impact women have made in our industry, they're going to be a huge part, obviously, of the Cowgirl Channel. So hopefully you guys will tune in and watch and help us make a success out of it. Our final award tonight is the 2022 AQHA Best Remuda Award.
When you Google Prescott, Arizona, and what it's known for, the exact words used are authentic cowboy history, whiskey road, moderate climate, and convenient livability. Prescott offers hidden gems of every sort just around the corner. One of those gems happens to be the ORO Ranch, and it is not so hidden anymore. The ORO Ranch, or the ROs as it's known throughout cowboy country, contains 257,000 acres through some of the most beautiful parts of Arizona. They're also one of only 2 ranches in the state of Arizona to win the prestigious Best Remuda Award. Not only does it take great horses, but also the right kind of horses, the kind that the ROs have bred since long before the American Quarter Horse Association began. Paying homage to them and their successors today, AQHA presents the ORO Ranch with the 2022 AQHA Best Remuda Award.
I'm Jane Watson Irwin Dropa.
And I'm Larry Dropa, and along with our 3 children, Jack, Daniel, and Catherine, we're immensely proud to be the owners of the ORO Ranch in Prescott, Arizona.
In 1821, there was a Luis Maria Baca family in New Mexico that had a 500,000 acre ranch. During the Mexican-American War, Americans moved into that ranch, which is then the town of Las Vegas, New Mexico. And the Luis Maria Baca family said, hey, wait a minute, we're Spanish. We aren't Mexican. We shouldn't have lost our ranch. And Congress, the American Congress said, oops, you're right. We will give you a land grant, but we do not want to give you another 500,000 acre chunk. We will give you 5 100,000 acres in the unsurveyed part of the West. So the Baca family lawyer went out on horseback and surveyed 5 plots of 100,000 acre squares. The east side of this ranch is the Luis Maria Baca float number 5. The Greens had the ranch from 1937 until 1973, and when we acquired the ranch. And we sure hope to keep the ranch in our family ad on infinitum. We're coming up on 50 years.
Neither the land nor the remote ORO have changed much since the ranch got its start back in the early 1800s. It is still some of the roughest untamed land in the Southwest, with elevations ranging from 4,000 to 7,500 feet. The ranch is divided up into 5 year-round cow camps that are individually manned by a cowboy. It's a horseback operation in horseback country, running yearlings and about 3,000 pairs of all-natural cows and calves. It takes top hands on top horses, well beyond the limits of four-wheelers.
I think what makes the ROs really unique is we run a wagon spring and fall, not because we want to or because of just tradition, but because we have to. There's very few roads on the ranch, and it's very rough, so we camp wherever we're working.
I think what makes our Remuda special is that we raise the horses to work the ranch. We don't concentrate on competitions and special events, but as a general rule, we raise the horses here to be working horses to support the cow-calf operation.
An active AQHA ranching heritage breeder, the ROs annually donates a weanling filly to the Ranching Heritage Young Horse Development Program.
We donate a foal, usually a filly, to a young person typically in Arizona, and they go on through the first year and start the training process and keep in contact, great kids, and we love seeing how they learn and progress with the horses.
The first line of business has always been, and still is, to produce good ranch horses. Their goal is to raise horses with good bone, good feet, deep heart girths, and a lot of natural cow sense that cowboys like to ride.
The Green Cattle Company brought up a lot of really good horses from Cananea, which is the basis of our horse herd.
Green had 5 stallions tracing to American Quarter Horse Foundation sires such as Peter McHugh and Steel Dust. One of these stallions was Sykes, a sorrel son of Peter McHugh, who sired El Rey R.O., a chestnut colt out of an R.O. mare that became a primary foundation sire for the modern R.O.s. El Rey R.O. went into the first stud book as number 896.
And the horses are outstanding and have a long history of that. Not a lot changes because we use the horses to work cattle, and that's their purpose, but bloodlines are always evolving.
Some of the R.O.'s studs include a son of one-time Pepto, a stallion that came from Tongue River Ranch, who is a grandson of Meekum Blue, a stallion that came from King Ranch by Kenyanos Moon, to name a few. A breeding operation would be nothing without mare power. The ORO puts a great emphasis on its mares, particularly those that descend from R.D. Peppy Checks and the daughter and granddaughters by Dual Winner and TRR Janie's Playgun.
Mare power is everything, in my opinion. We have a long history of a lot of really good mares, and if you follow that line back and you look at the best horses in the Remuda that we have, it's all about mare power.
It's a tremendous honor for us to have received the 2022 AQHA Best Remuda Award because it helps to validate the efforts that have been put forth on this ranch for many generations of both horses and cowboys to establish the fact that they're great horses, they know the country, they work this country well, and we have bred horses here that grow up learning what it's like to negotiate this country. The reason we don't raise horses here just to compete in competitions for awards is that we need them here to do the work that's necessary for the cattle. So the horse program is designed to make the most of the horses that we have bred here and make the most of their working life to help the cowboys do their job.
AQHA is proud to present the ORO with the 2022 AQHA Best Remuda Award.
Wow, that was some video. We hadn't seen it before. And I might be slightly biased as I love the ranch. But I have to say that about a month after the AQHA crew came to the ranch, the monsoon season started, and the ranch looks even better when it's green. Thank you so much for this honor. I'm Jane Dropa, and I'd like to thank the AQHA and all who review the applications and vote on the nominations for the Remuda of the Year award. My dad would have been thrilled with this honor. After he bought the ORO Ranch 50 years ago, he was an advocate for our working horses, realizing that they were bred to work cattle in our rough country. I'd like to thank Jed Rourke, the RO's manager, along with his wife Holly, for skillfully managing and working the horses, cattle, and people that make up the historic ORO Ranch. We're lucky to have two of their wonderful kids, Fallon and Paik, with us. Their oldest, Colton, is working horses in central Arizona. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge Connor Garwood, who is not only our terrific horse trainer, but a talented engraver, and Pat and Letty Hughes, who look over and take care of our sandstone camp country. Their wealth of experience in horse and cow savvy are a virtual encyclopedia of information. Letty is here, but Pat didn't come this weekend as we were blessed with over a foot of snow on Thursday, and he felt he needed to stay to look after his dogs, horses, and cattle. We also have other valued employees back at the ranch that contribute to the overall success of the ROs. Thank you also to my husband Larry and our 3 children, Daniel, who's with us tonight, Jack and Catherine, who collectively help maintain the operation, direction, and reputation of the ranch. As we have said when talking about the Best Remuda Award, this is for all the cowboys and cowgirls that have ever saddled a horse and done a day's work for the ORO Ranch. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to the ORO. A special thank you to Teton Ridge for sponsoring tonight's Breeders' Banquet. How about a round of applause for everybody that was recognized tonight? It's kind of hard to believe, 100 years, that's amazing legacy. Also want to thank, if you weren't recognized tonight, but you take pride and passion in the breeding program, because it's the breeders that really are the backbone. Continue to raise the bar and take that amazing horse to the next level. Keep up the good work, and thanks for coming tonight. Thanks for being a part of this, and everyone have a wonderful rest of your evening.